Good evening, everybody. Having a nice warm evening here in Pittsburgh. It's up near 50, which meant I had to run around and get cars started. Hopefully they didn't freeze up during the wintertime. Oh, we still have that count. I just keep forgetting to put it in. We've got 325 people in here tonight. So, all right. Okay, today, as we saw in the Dow, it headed right down early. Did not look good. But this is where you have to use what is that? Use the preachings of the Japanese rice traders. Says, let the market tell you what the market is doing. Well, currently the market is telling us we're in an uptrend. Today was a big down day, but notice where it came to, right about to the T line. Came down to the T line here, came down to the T line here, here, here. So it wasn't like this was an unusual situation in this uptrend. So which is in this case was good because the more they consolidate during the uptrend, the more solid the uptrend will be because there's no exuberance coming into this market. It's just steady uptrend with profit taking and then buyers stepping in. Um, so, anyways, the S&P 500. Same scenario. Came right smack dab to the 50, I'm sorry, to the T line and came back up. So where's it trading? Still on the 3T line. So the 3T line is just kind of that added oh, analytical tool that says if they're trading above the 3T line, obviously they're trading above the T line. And if they're trading above the 3T line, they're still in a very strong uptrend or still a strong bullish sentiment. The one that was worrisome today was the NASDAQ because the NASDAQ had one of these signals that we call two dark crows. Looks like two crows watching but and it traded below the T line today. Had they closed below the T line, that would have been a pretty negative sign that after a bearish signal closing below the T line, that maybe the uptrend was now over. However, as we see, they brought it right back up. So what makes this even better is if we see them open this market positive, pretty much telling us they aren't going to go below the T line, it tells you there's still some more good side bullish trades in existence. So let's take a look at some of the other things. The 10-year note basically going sideways, stuck between the 50 and the 200. Crude oil prices also somewhat sideways, kind of fading off a little bit here. And you're below the T line, but they're not going anywhere in any great hurry. They're just kind of hovering up here. But I would suspect you might be in a very slow downtrend, meaning very slow enough that you probably wouldn't want to be trading crude oil. And natural gas, just flat as a pancake for the last 3 weeks. Wouldn't be trading natural gas one way or the other. We can do a 3T session here pretty soon. Now that the schedule's freeing up a little bit. What else we got? Gold. Gold, also not doing anything of any great magnitude. And I know this will be a trivial little story, but I've got a trivial little story. An old girlfriend that used to be kind of the girl next door they have a farm just north of Pittsburgh here, up in the country, and it had an old farmhouse on it, but they've been digging coal out of it for the last 40 years. And so she gave me a call the other day and said, I don't know what to do. The guy that's digging the coal, who's a very nice guy, said it's probably time that they have to dig underneath the house. And she goes, my grandfather would stuff money. He had money all over the place. We're still trying to find accounts in Philadelphia where he had money. And she said, more than likely, there's some cans of coins down in that basement. So I said, well, I'll run up there. It was a cold, very cold winter day here. So Sandy and I drove up. It was about an hour north of here, but got there, and unfortunately, the house had been deteriorating for years and was just kind of sagging down on itself. Definitely something you wouldn't want to go in to go down in the basement. So I talked with the guy up there, and he said, yeah, she told me about it. If we see anything, obviously we'll get it to her. Sure. So I had to come back, and I was trying to figure out how to tell her that I wasn't even brave enough to go inside the house, that maybe there was some coins there. And that was the same day that this news item came out that this couple found $10 million worth of gold coins in their backyard. And I'm thinking, this is going to go over very well. So anyway, gold's kind of flattening out. And silver in a slow, steady downtrend also. So if I was going to do anything in the metals, I'd be shorting silver. Soybeans has finally taken a turn here. It's pulled back pretty hard. Now it's trading below the T line. So that might be a good short. And cotton still got this little hook, and it looks like it broke out, consolidating, seeing if it starts moving up from here. And I hate to even show this chart because I was so smart one day that I took profits. I had very good profits in lean hogs, and Shazam is up even again. So I had profits in lean hogs, and it looked like it was doing a doji, and I thought, well, if they open this lower tomorrow, they're going to come back to the T line. They went up the limit without me. They went up the limit without me. They went up the limit again without me, and I think even today they were up the limit. So I had mentioned, anyways, I'd left a lot on the table. So that was just to illustrate. Do what the charts tell you, not what you think the charts are going to do. Oh, yeah. No, she realizes that the house, so we took pictures of the house, and it was just crumbling. So nobody wanted to go in here. Let's see. Also, because of the strength in hogs, kind of anticipating that live cattle would start moving up some, kind of doing a J-hook type move in here. And then feeder cattle has been in a nice little steady uptrend. Maybe I got these charts too big. They may look better. There you go. So now, while I'm on this chart, here's something that we always want to observe, or this is something that you should observe, is if you're in a steady uptrend, and then it pulls back, and they start back up again, usually they come right back up into the trajectory of the trend. So this right here, as a J-hook type pattern setup, usually will give you a very good, fast price move. Okay, the dollar, just slowly sagging. The euro, still in a good steady uptrend, but not anything that I'd be willing to trade. And the Japanese yen, ever since the evening star signal, has been in a downtrend. It didn't do a sell signal on soybeans, no. So what I would suspect If it didn't do a sell signal, but it's trading below the T line, then it's probably just going to do a pullback, not a reversal. So this is a type of chart that if I saw that we had a bottom and a top, that's pretty clever. Then you put your Fibonacci number on here. Say, all right, maybe our first target is the 20. So if you're thinking of shorting it, at least you know you have kind of a target to short, because the 20 and the 38% retracement on the Fibonacci numbers seem to coincide. And then see if they do a J-hook from here. Anyways, is that where it's going to move? Do not know, but at least that's a target to kind of consider. And if it does get in here, you start seeing buy signals, and you know pretty much that's probably the place to start covering short positions and going back long again. Now, how do we get rid of this? All right. And I haven't taken a look at wheat. Oops. Wheat looks like it just touched the 200. Bearish engulfing signal. So this has more of a sell signal. Now we have to see if it's going to confirm confirm coming down through the T line. And the last one would be corn. Corn has done a sell signal. That one you can be shorting with the anticipation that there's a high probability they're bringing it back. You've got your evening star signal and close right on the T line. This is after hours trading right now. That tells you they've opened it lower after the signal. Okay. Lots of good charts. Probably too many to. I've just had to kind of pick out what I think are some of the best ones. We recommended RMTI today because of this pattern right here. Kind of a doji sandwich breakout. It opened higher and traded lower, but this still doesn't change the trajectory of this pattern. I wouldn't be afraid to be buying this on positive trading, meaning anything above today's close in tomorrow's trading. Just use the T line as your stop. We've been in OESX. Another one that's coming out of this fry pan bottom type pattern with a kicker signal, with a left-right combo, a doji sandwich, and staying above the T line, I'm sorry, above the 50. Get ready to buy this on positive trading. So the reason I'm kind of demonstrating some of these today is because there are patterns that you really want to kind of keep in the back of your mind as being good price patterns, such as the slow curve, such as a doji sandwich. If this opens positive tomorrow, it's going up this amount, the same magnitude as this right here. And why is that so such a high probability? Because this pattern right here usually tells you there's going to be a breakout to the upside. BDSI has been holding up well. Very simple. Just stay long as this stays above the T line. And AER. Another one that if this one gets moving, got your fry pan bottom, you've got your kind of your cup and handle, and this one's got the next trajectory moving because of the belt hold signal that took out a lot of the sellers. If it's consolidating and starts moving up, especially if it breaks out through there, you've probably got another 7-8 point move to the upside pretty quick. Okay, we're still holding on PEXI. This one's made us a ton of money because this is what usually happens coming out of a fry pan bottom. You get a lot of whipsaw action. So this one probably is a 45 degree, which means you stay long as it stays above the T line. And you've got a kind of a little inverted hammer on the pullback today. So this makes it very simple. If they open this positive tomorrow, you want to be buying. Because after consolidation, remember, that inverted hammer signal, opening positive, has an extremely high probability that you're going to be moving positive from there. If that's the case, you've got kind of a J-hook pattern. You might have another strong move, this was a 50% move. You get another 5-point move up here. And we saw that in TKMR. Nice strong move, a pullback, little inverted hammer, bullish open. Do we always get moves like this? No, but at least we know that if we're buying, we're moving back in the right direction. And as long as this closed above the T line, you could be buying back. Now we're in that same trajectory as what the trend was prior to this pullback. So that makes probably the recommendation for this one tomorrow highly likely. NWBO, they were pointing this out in the chat room today. Notice the same scenario. A pullback, and now this is the kicker signal to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised if this trajectory doesn't continue right on up from here pretty strong. Why pretty strong? Because this trajectory was pretty strong. They were buying this ever since the slow curve breakout with great enthusiasm, profit taking. Now they've got a kicker signal telling us that enthusiasm back, and I think this kicker signal was created by an announcement. What they say, something got approved today. So that also equates to the chart on, oh no, that's not the chart. Another J-hook pattern. There's that slow curve. That's why I'm pointing these out. If you see a slow curve set up, your buying rate in here has high probability results. Either they're going to be big or it's going to fizzle and you close right out. And for every one of these that moves, you can have 10 fizzles and you'll still be making money, just 1 out of 10. This one's doing a J-hook pattern. I wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one on positive trading. This is HPJ. And who wrote this? Somebody's got terrible handwriting. GFRG. Another one's fry pan bottom. There's your belt hold, wiping out the sellers. There's your J-hook pattern. Wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one on positive trading as long as it stays above the T line. Okay, what else do we got here? HIMX. One everybody's been following. We made some good money on this earlier, but then it's just been flat. Then you had your slow fry pan bottom. Now not quite a kicker signal, but enough to tell us they've broken out through this level. You can be buying this one because more than likely, if I can do this correctly, there's a wave. There's wave 2 supporting right on the 50. Wave 3 is going to be the same magnitude as that move, which was about 7 points. That means you could be heading for the $21, $22 range. HTLD. Fry pan bottom with a doji right here. What's that telling us? If this opens positive, you've got a doji sandwich and you're definitely breaking out. You're going to get back up pretty quick right to this trajectory right here, which means there's probably, I can't even get the cursor up there because the screen ends. You're going to be up in somewhere around the $30, $35 area. And anybody, where can you see live charts? You don't really see the live charts, Dave, but on, I think on TCNet, you can see the little blue lines for the bid-ask spread, or the bid-ask, and see whether it's trading up. And I know on Thinkorswim that you can, it'll show you what's going on pre-market if you've got a watch list to the left. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to put a little star next to this one also. CUI. Notice where it's broken out. So this one's very simple. Again, there's that slow curve. And how did they break this one out? With a doji sandwich. And what happened after a doji sandwich? More upside. So you got the combination of a slow curve, a doji sandwich breakout. We know the results of a doji sandwich breakout is more upside. And we also know the results of a slow curve breakout is a very strong price move. That's CUI. So now we've got wave 3, makes this very simple. If it opens positive, you buy because the profit taking is over. They're still taking it up and kind of a kicker type gap up. Yeah, I'll try to. I know a lot of people have a hard time seeing the name up here or the symbol, so that's why I try to repeat it. Here's a wave 1. There's a wedge formation. There's your slow curve. Then there's your breakout. This one should have another 2 points to the upside. And MNI, same scenario as CUI. If it opens positive, you want to be buying. Wave 1, J-hook going into wave 3. Somebody must have written this one. UNIS. UNIS. Little morning star signal. Watch to see if they break out of this wedge. You'll get some good pop on that. That one you want to keep on your watch list. RVLT. Another wedge type formation breaking out. This one you buy. Whenever you see these big dojis, obviously what's happening is there's lots of volume. There's lots of people buying and selling. There's profit taking because of the magnitude of the move. Then if they open up positive, that tells you all of this has disappeared. The bulls are still winning. They're going to be taking it up higher. The reason they're going to be taking it up higher is because when they gap it up, somebody wants to be in this very enthusiastically. And that means once the profit taking is over, the enthusiasm continues. STRA, another J-hook. If this is moved from 34 to 50, this one should move from here to about the, I can do this, $62 area. Now, this is the type of thing I would be recommending to the chat room or the option chat room, because this one would be that if we could measure that if it moved 16 points from here would be 64, 65. We don't have to be buying the calls outright. We've only got 2 weeks to expiration, so this could move up pretty quick. Instead of buying the calls outright, we might be buying a 50, 55, which would be much more economical, or even a 55, 60. So there might be situations where on a big price move, if you bought the, I'd say the 50s, and I'm picking out a number, let's say you paid $3 for them. Well, for that to triple, it would have to go to 59 bucks. Pretty big move. But if you bought the 50 and sold the 55s, and for, let's say, hypothetically, that instead of, what did I just say, $3, it's now $1.80. Well, to triple your money, you only have to go up to 56 bucks or somewhere in that range. No, not even that way, 55 bucks. And it seems to be an 8-to-1 overbought to oversold in my team scan. It tells me we should be seeing a correction soon. Or not necessarily. That just kind of gives you an alert. But remember, this move could be fairly extensive. If you're starting to take or getting ready for shorts, you might miss out on another 3 weeks of a upward price move. So let the chart tell you when things, and right now the chart's not telling us anything's going on exuberantly. We just want to, and exuberance is either they gap it down one day, that tells you they're trying to get out in a hurry, or you start seeing some big days to the upside, which goes back to the old where do most people buy? They buy exuberantly at the top. So we can see graphically when that exuberance is starting to come into the trend. Here's another J-hook pattern set up on LINTA. This one I wouldn't be afraid to be buying on positive trading tomorrow. And J-hook type pattern, and how's it starting? With a little kicker, not a kicker type signal, but a hammer gap up. If they open this positive and eventually break through here, you got much more upside. This is something that you definitely want to play options with. Oh, we're not even getting to the good ones yet. Kicker signal on ADEP. This one I'm trying to figure out how the kicker signals work so well. How you just set up one trading account where you just buy kicker signals. You'd make tons of money. Metastock is one. TCNet's another. Those are the scanning ones. And then anybody else has ideas for D? What's charting services? Now, whatever brokerage firm you have, D, more than likely they've got a chart system with it. Let's see, VECO. So if anybody's got any ideas on good charting services, throw it out there for her, please. Yeah, that last one was ADEP. This one is VECO, Vetco. There's that slow curve. More than likely, they're back into this 45 degree to the upside. Yeah, try TC2000D. That's probably the best one to get started with. Yeah, and if you're not trading intraday, stock charts has a delay of 20 minutes, but if you're just doing not day trading, but swing trading, it'll work just fine. Row. Whoops, maybe I made it too small now. FMI, another J-hook pattern. So this is where you kind of observe the obvious. The obvious is they take it up, they pull it back. They take it up, they pull it back. They take it up, and now you're in the take-up portion. WTW, little bullish or Morningstar signal back up through the T line. This one you can be buying. If they break through here, they got a lot of running room in this open space. Another one somebody wrote down, or I could hardly read their writing. This is something that you want to be aware of, especially on a doji gap up on a big move. More than likely, you're going to see a 45 degree come out the other side. And very simple. Until the T-line catches up, you use the open of the candle that told you the bulls have now taken control. And then when the T-line catches up, you just use the T-line to break. Let's see. Peg, what were you asking? WTW broke through the T-line. Morningstar signal on the T-line was stochastics coming up. Okay, so and then SIMG is another good example of a big or a slow curve. Now you're in a kind of a 45 degree. It looks more like a 45 degree if I spread this out. And this one will probably go into a 45 degree as it gets up toward the resistance levels and then go upwards. Okay, so the reason that we want to learn the patterns, and I hope you folks that spent the weekend learning the patterns understand that these slow curves, breakouts, can create very strong price moves. That's why I look for these. This one was very simple. Got to the 50. If it broke through the 50, which it did, that told you everybody and their brother who's watching the 50 that could see that it was acting as a resistance level now knows it's not. They're piling in. And we know what happens coming out of a slow curve. Usually you get a very strong price move. And that same thing happened to WWE. There's that slow curve. It's on its way. And as long as this one stays above the T line as well as the 3T line, it's going to be in a very strong uptrend. Maurice, which one was that on? You got to put the chart name because we go zipping along. And then this is one that I was recommending to the options trading room, SOTA. Notice what SOTA has is that T-line crunch right into the 50, went through the 50. If this one gets moving, there's your first target real quick up here to the $50 area, fill in the gap. And more than likely, if they get up that far, they're going to, the momentum should carry it all the way up to the 200. Let's see, WWE. Yeah, okay. SIMG. No, I'm not recommending these right now. I'm just saying this is what we look for. These are the results of what these slow curves will produce for us. Yeah, Maria, we have, because we didn't want to be talking option strategies in the main chat room, we've set up another chat room, and it's just for people that are very interested in options. I'll come in a few times a day with option ideas. Not so much that we're trying to learn any newfangled option strategies. We're trying to figure out I try to teach people what is the appropriate option strategy to go with the chart patterns that we're looking at. Spreads on SOTA, yes, there's probably, as a matter of fact, I think I did buy a spread on SOTA today. I think I bought the 42.50s, 45s for the March for 75 cents. But if it goes up above 45, that 75 cents turns into $2.50. Do you get into stock far away from the T line? No, I don't. Hey, these are examples of what to get into. Right now, this one has the potential of skyrocketing, just like we saw in some of these others that, again, these are examples. These aren't saying get in. These are examples of what happens when they break out. They're going to be very strong price moves. We did that same thing with our recommendation on BWEN. Slow fry pan bottom. We just stay long. Notice how this one is not coming back even to the T line. It's staying above the 3T line. That tells me I'm still in a very strong uptrend at this point. And BIP. Oh, who wrote this one? Son of a gun. Maybe it's BIP. Well, apparently not. We're going to zip right along. Oh, I know what that is. That's BLDP. There's what we're looking for. That type of breakout, gone from $2 to $7. All you need is one or two of those a week, and you'll make lots of money. Same scenario with plug. Came out of the fry pan bottom with a slow curve, gap up, just running like a scalded dog. And as you remember, it wasn't too long ago that we made very good money coming out of this pattern on VISN. And then once they get up, once they get up here, notice what was happening. This is why the T line and the 3T line are very important. First of all, you've got the candlestick pattern. Now you've got the 3T and the T line to tell you when to take profits on the pattern. So in this case, it was a situation where, number one, we knew we were getting away from the T line, but we weren't that far away from the 3T line. The next day, not only were we away from the T line, but we were away from the 3T line. This is when you flip to your 10-minute chart and watch your 10-minute chart. And as soon as you see a sell signal and a trading back below the T line, you start taking your profits. Why do we use the 10-minute chart on this type of situation? Because we've already analyzed on the daily chart, we're hugely overbought, well away from the T line, and we know the simple rule of the T line. The further away you move from the T line, the more likely you're going to come back and test it. Yes, so right now, these, if I own these, which unfortunately I don't, I would be watching to see what they do with this tomorrow. If they open this up higher, I'm immediately going to my 10-minute chart and seeing what the 10-minute chart is telling me. On a 10-minute chart, you take profits on the T or the on the T line. The 10-minute chart, the 3T line tells me I'm moving away from the T line. Then I get more diligent as far as watching for a reversal signal. John, that's a question that doesn't really even faze me. If the market goes down, will gold and silver go up? That takes too much intelligence for me to figure out. What I can figure out though is I can see what's doing, what gold is doing based upon what the market's doing. Okay, what else we got here? ROSG, kind of a fry pan bottom. There's your breakout. There's your kicker type signal. That tells me there's still more upside in this one. I wouldn't be buying it here, but you definitely want to watch. This is still part of that T-line crunch. Even though you don't have a moving average or anything right here, you can see that there's kind of a resistance level. Let me see if I can do this without planer tool. Trend. And just kind of right along here, maybe more like right along here, you can see the T-line crunch coming up to this resistance level. When they went through, everybody and their brother was jumping in. We want to be jumping in right here, knowing what to do. What's our rule of a doji? It'll move in the direction of how they opened after a doji. So we're sitting right on the T-line with a T-line crunch going up to the resistance level. If it opens positive, I want to start buying immediately. Now my immediate may be, I want to see that they're not slamming it. If they open this and started trading it off, then my buy would be that it has to come back up through that open. If they open it, waffle around, and start trading positive, that tells me exactly which way they're taking it after a doji I want to be buying. You always get moves like this on this type of situation. Definitely not always, but the probabilities of being in the right place at the right time is extremely strong. MONT. This is what happens coming out of this slow curve. Instead of a big up day, you had a big gap up. Now what do you do with this chart? Well, it needs to open positive. At this point, if I own this, I want to see it open positive, trade positive. It came back down through this level. I know there's going to be profit taking. I'd come out and wait for the profit taking to be over. And a couple more, and then we'll get to the questions and answers. Skull. This is why you wait to see what they do after a profit-taking gap up. And notice what they did coming out of this one. That fry pan bottom, whipsaw action. So why would I not be afraid to be buying here? Because we were coming out of a fry pan bottom. Instead of it breaking out like this, did a stutter step and then took off. But the results are still the same coming out of this fry pan bottom. This one, wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one tomorrow. Just using today's open as your stop. Yeah, hold on to your individual stock. Mont is a buyout. All right. That solves that problem or question. Yeah, hang on to your individual stock questions. When I tell Jim to do the double line, then you type in your the stock charts. S dot C gap. That one's not coming up. Did I do this wrong? Oh, pshaw. We did skull. So, all right. Are you playing options on plug? No, I didn't. I wasn't that clever. but I am playing options on NWBO. I usually don't play options on lower price stocks just because I like to save the money for the higher price stocks that I'm not going to buy, but I can buy the options on. But this one tells me this could have a very strong price move over the next few days, just based upon this kicker signal, somewhat along the same lines as this one, where they had the big move back up and then strong move afterwards. So, and then down and move, close below the chain line with no sell signal. Is it reasonable to assume there is just a pullback going on? Yes, not a reversal. If I own soybeans, I would probably sell it, knowing that it's selling off. Oh, pshaw. And then I'd sell it, and I just put a buy stop back at the T line if it's sold off, or if it came down here to the 20. Yeah, this one tells me they're selling it off, but it's not a reversal. That means probably more like a J-hook pattern setup. Let's see. I was going to show something else. So now lean hogs. I don't even like looking at that chart anymore. Just such a beautiful chart. That was worth 2 Cadillac convertibles and a Chrysler. And so what I am looking for is charts that are going to kind of follow the same group or same rationale, with the hogs going up immensely. That usually means that the cattle and the feeder cattle are going to follow. Okay, any questions on candlesticks? Oh, if you're having problems getting a hold of the T-line videos or Triple T videos, just email Abraham at candlestickforum.com. He'll get them to you. Yeah, you always want to keep this address in your somewhere, because me and technology sometimes just don't hit it off just right. If you keep track of 50 positions, why not buy? I'm not keeping track of 50 positions. I'm usually keeping track of maybe 12 or 15. So if your position includes stock and spreads, do you close the spread on the stock sell signal, or do you hold until expiration? If there's a sell signal, now the idea of a spread is, that's not what I wanted. If I'm buying a spread, I'm buying it on the basis that my spread timing is that I'm usually buying spreads anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks prior to expiration, because your biggest profit is going to be at expiration. So I'm pretty safe, I think, that if I bought these calls for a spread for 75 cents, that if it goes to above 45, that it's eventually going to expire at $2.50. So that's why I don't want to be too far out in front of the expiration date, because when you're a good distance away from expiration, you're going to have premiums built into both calls, so your profitability doesn't hit until you get right to expiration. So that's why I don't try to get too far out in front. And I know that if this trades anywhere above 45 going into expiration, that my 75 cents went to 250. Now, if I saw something right here and it started pulling back and there was still 4 or 5 days left, yeah, I may go ahead and take my profits at that time. Is the T-line crunch when the T-line pushes up against resistance? Yes. And the resistance could be a moving average. Let me see if I can find a T-line crunch. I can't. We'll be doing T-line crunches, but the T-line crunch is, well, here's one right here. This is a T-line crunch where they keep pushing it right up through a resistance level. How do you determine your wave counts? Just very simple. I don't want to go any more than 3. I'm being a swing trader. I'm not going to own a trade for any more than 10 days. So I want to know what's happening right now. I don't care whether we're in wave 4, 5, 7, 9, ABC retracement. I just wanted to know if I'm buying right now, I can see wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. When this trade is over, maybe it will start another wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, but that would mean wave 1 started from this level going into wave 2. Soda, why a 250 spread instead of $5? Because if there's no value, if it was buying the 2750s and selling the 4750s, and there was no value to the 4750s right now, then you're not selling anything to put money back in your pocket. So sometimes on a $5 spread, the top one may not have any value at all. So I'm looking more at how to maximize my return based upon what the math is telling me. So for 75 cents to make $2.50, yes, I'll do that. That's what, almost 3 times your money. If a stock reaches the spread target within a week or more left, do you roll the spread or do you do something else with it, or just try to hold to expiration? Because the maximum return doesn't occur until out here on expiration day when all the premium is gone and there's going to be a net of $2.50 between the two of them. GPS on Friday's move, is GPS big enough to be a belt hold? GPS. Yes. So on a belt hold, you're basically wiping out the sellers. Now this may be telling us that we're not ready to buy because we're not seeing any bullish confirmation. But if I saw a bullish signal and a close above the T line, this becomes my signal that was the belt hold that started the uptrend. Why and when are you checking the 3T line on the 10-minute chart? When the price is so dramatically away from the daily charts T line and 3T line, the only time I'll check the 3T on the 10-minute chart is, let's say hypothetically tomorrow they open plug up and went up another 3 points. Well, more than likely, if it went up fast in the morning, it's going to not only be away, it's going to be away from the T line, it's going to be up past the 3T line. So I want to see what happens now at the 3T line. How are you using volatility in your spread construction? I don't use volatility. I'm obviously looking at charts that do have volatility. But I can pretty well estimate that the price moves of this one over a 2-week period could take us up pretty good. And all it has to do for me right now is get above 45, and I'll make 300 some odd percent. If I can't watch the 10-minute chart during the day, what do I do with my plug? Right now, if I own plug, you find a place where you wouldn't want to see it trade. And at this point, I wouldn't want to see it trade back below today's open. If it came down through there, that tells me the sellers are now taking control. Okay, all right, with that, Jim, let's go ahead and do the double line. All right, and you've got another 6 seconds before he does the next double line. Okay, Jim, now do the next double line so we can stop the scrolling. All right. Okay. We've just scrolled, scrolled, and scrolled. Now I got to find the double line. All right. Let me see if I can do this correctly. Okay. ABBV. This one, all you can do is stay long as it stays above the T line. Nothing really earth-shattering, but in a little slow, steady uptrend. SEM. Another one that you can see the slow curve, you can see the J-hook type pattern. There was an evening star signal, but notice the evening star signal occurred when it wasn't quite in the overbought area. That was more of a inclination that there might be some selling back to the T-line, which it looks like it did. So this one, if you're looking to buy it, if you own it, I'd hold it. If you're looking to buy it, you buy it on a positive open tomorrow. CRM, that one you get ready to short if it opens lower tomorrow. Again, there's that little slow curve telling you once they broke the T-line, they couldn't get back up through the T-line. Now they're sitting right on the 50. If they break the 50, that means your next target is down here at the 200-day moving average. Ford Motor Company. This one you stay long right now, and you can even be buying this one on a trade basis if it opens positive tomorrow, telling you the T-line is acting as support. Oh, the 45 degree is when you have a big, strong price move. Remember, in candlestick analysis, the graphic depiction of what's going on in investor sentiment is clearly illustrated. When you have a big price move, usually a gap up or a big candle, and then it will move 45 degrees off of there. The follow through buying will continue. WWVA, oh, KH. I'm afraid that's going to be a lap. What about WWAB? This one you stay long, but this one needs to open positive tomorrow to stay long. And Eagle, same scenario. Stay long. You're probably in the J hook right now. There's your fry pan bottom breakout. You broke out through the wedge. Now it's probably going to test the T line, but you can be buying on a positive move off the T line. A run, slow curve. You can see the fry pan bottom. Morningstar or kind of your belt hold gap up. Kind of a gap up through this resistance level. This one you continue to hold. Expect more upside from this one. GameStop. This is a T-line crunch in the making. Notice how they're taking the T-line and crunch it right up here. If it goes through the 50, if you own it, you continue to own it. If you're looking to buy this, I'd buy it as soon as it went up through the 50. And MU, I wouldn't be long or short right now. It's just gotten itself, maybe I've got the chart too flat. Let me try this. Oops, that looks a little bit better. Ah, wrong. I'd be buying this one on positive trading after the bullish left-right combo, the stutter step, and then the bullish engulfing. You want to be buying this because what's it telling you? That this downtrending channel, which you can pretty well see is parallel to this uptrending channel, or this lower end of the channel, is the same parallel line, which means this next move is to the top of the trend channel. Facebook. Another one where you just stay long as it stays above the T line. We had that little J hook pattern, which means they're going to take this up right here over the next few days and then go 45 degree off of there. MasterCard. I wouldn't be long or short this one. This one's just too stodgy and it's not going anywhere fast. I'd be trading something else. Delta, you can stay long on this one. More than likely, as long as it stays above the T line, and more than likely you might be seeing a little J-hook setup right now. Blue, all you can do on this one, there's kind of your 45 degree. You had a big move. Now you got a 45 degree. May not quite be 45 degrees, but it's a steady uptrend, and you stay long as it stays above the T line. GGAL needed to close above the T line, which it did, which means this has to open positive tomorrow. If it opens lower and starts trading down, you close out the position. YRCW, I wish it would get a little fire underneath it. It's staying right here on the T line. Now, if this opens positive tomorrow, you can be buying, because then you're going to have the little Morningstar signal. And remember what happens on a Morningstar signal at the end of a flat trading? Acts like that little scoop pattern, which will give you a slingshot effect to the upside. Yahoo, you probably want to be going short. It's kind of broken this little downtrending channel. Well, it might be right on that downtrending channel. Looks like it's broken. But you've got a left-right combo that closed below the T line, confirming I'd be going short on this one on any weakness tomorrow. And BBY, there's that slow curve. You can be buying this one on positive trading. Just use the T line as your stop. And MyGen was also holding the T line well, also doing a kind of a little J-hook type setup. This one you can be buying, especially if it comes up through today's high. That tells you that curvature is starting back up. And Herbalife, I wouldn't be long or short this one. That's more of a dumpling top setting up. I'd be trading something else right now. MGM. MGM, get ready to go short on this one. You've had a left-right combo, now it closed below the T line. If it trades weaker, your first target, you want to watch to see what it does at the 20, but good probability they could take you down to the 50. Now notice how this one started its uptrend with your kind of your best friend, Doji Gap up in the oversold area. And ACRX, this one should have been closed out today. First of all, you had an evening star signal that closed below the T line. It needed to open higher and trade higher to stay in it. This one should have been closed out. We did close out this one today. You could do a spread on MyGen, yes. As I say, right now, with what date are we? We're within 2 weeks of expiration. This would be the time frame I would start doing spreads versus buying calls outright. PGTI, this one's caught in a wedge. I wouldn't be long or short until this breaks out one way or the other. Newmont, that's the New Zealand. Newmont, even if we stretch this out, it's still not exciting. You've got kind of a little bearish flutter kicker. You're in the middle of this trend channel. More than likely, they're going to bring it back down to the bottom of the trend, and I'd be trading something else. The Russell 2000, stay long as it stays above the T line. Microsoft, I usually don't even look at it because it trades so slowly. I wouldn't be long or short Microsoft. There's just no movement in it anymore with it being such a big institutional trader. And eBay, you get ready to short on the gap down. More than likely, they could be coming back to the 20 or the 50. And the Qs, same as the NASDAQ. It has to open higher. The Qs anyways need to open higher tomorrow. So the market will move in the direction of how they open this tomorrow. So just watch what your pre-market futures are telling you. Oh, I hate when this happens. It acts so well. There we go. Let's make this smaller. This one, if you own it, or if you're thinking of buying it, you can buy it on positive trading. That would tell you the profit taking is over. XGTI. This one you get ready to buy on positive trading. Notice the positive trading today told you the selling is over. More than likely, if they lollygag it tomorrow, you're going to have the T-line coming right up into the bottom of all this. And NES, let's make this a little bit more pronounced. Doji Sandwich, coming out of this rounding bottom, I'd be ready to buy this on positive trading tomorrow on the Doji Sandwich setup. And INO, another wedge setup that I wouldn't be long or short until I see this break out one way or the other. iPhone, that's a nice slow curve breakout. This one you can be buying on positive trading, anticipating the 45-degree to the top of the channel. And OPK. OPK, if you're long, you stay long on this one, especially if it opens positive. Well, your little J-hook pattern is continuing the uptrend. FWM, that's a good looking chart. Slow curve, breaking up above the T-line. This one could pop back up to the 50, which would coincide with filling the gap. And if they gap this one up tomorrow, you buy immediately because that's what would create your island reversal down here. FMC, nice breakout. This one, you stay long, but I'd use today's low as my stop. If it came back down through there, there's still profit taking. And SAAS, J-hook pattern. This one you can be buying on positive trading tomorrow with the anticipation of another 3 points to the upside. And VSI. This one has to get through the 50. I would rather pay 47 or 46.75 for this, knowing that it got up through the 50-day moving average. But as you can see, it's being squeezed, so it's going to move in the direction of how they break it out. Your stochastic starting to roll over, but it's still got an opportunity to gap one way or the other. Abercrombie, all you can do here is stay long as it stays above the T-line. GoGo, stay long as it stays above the 3T line, but you definitely want to see this get up through the little resistance level pretty quick. CTRP, this one you go short on any weakness tomorrow. There's your bearish Harami. There's your move back to the T-line, and then that's your sell signal at the T-line, a left-right combo. More than likely, you're heading back down into this territory. Sienna, same scenario. Go short on this one, on any weakness. Notice your bearish engulfing with a booster. That's telling you there's a lot of force going to the downside. FEYE had an announcement that they are issuing new stock, which is not anything that you got to kind of watch to see if it's at the bottom of the trend channel. If they start trading this positive, they're going to be taking it right back up into the trend channel. If they open this one lower, you close out the position if you own it right now. Tesla got hit pretty hard today. it can be shorted if it opens weaker tomorrow. And Fluor, I wouldn't be long or short because you got the wedge pattern setting up. It could be moving sideways for a little bit longer. ARRS, this one needs some help. The only way to stay in this one is to see a good, strong price move to the upside. It had a nice Morningstar signal. It's not out of the picture just yet, but it definitely needs to open positive tomorrow to stay in it. And Bont, this one also has to open positive. If it opens lower, that tells you this little uptrend is over, and they're probably in the process of taking it down for an attempt on a double bottom. Apache, this one a little left-right right here on the T line. You can be buying this one with the idea that once it gets to the 50, you got to watch to see what it does at that level. And GTI, I wouldn't be long or short unless you want to just play it for kind of scalping. But right now, with it being stuck kind of in a sideways mode, I'd be trading something else at this point. Let's see, we've done that. OXBT needs to stay above the T line, which means it has to open positive tomorrow to stay in it. ATRC, this one you watch. They're going to move this how they open it tomorrow, which more than likely they're going to open it positive. If they start trading positive right off the 50, that means you're now in your next wave to the upside. This is a perfect setup situation. You're right on the 50. This one, I wouldn't be in it. You can't short it at these levels, so you don't want to be in it. You should be off elsewhere. And DBA, S.DBA. Oh, man. All you can do with this is stay long until you see a sell signal. At this point, put your stop someplace and tell you the sellers are in control, which would probably be right here, or even you want to be, that would be too close. Put it right here. That would tell you that you're back out of the trading range. And Joe is coffee. Did a gap up doji today. What did coffee do today? Kind of a little gap up also. Yeah, I'd get ready to take some profits in it if it came back down through the T line. WLL, nothing wrong here. We're still buying this long term. And Apple's caught in this wedge. I wouldn't be long or short Apple right now. As you can see, it's wedging. Okay. Gold. That's gold. GOLD. That one you want to be short. ERII. This one you can be buying. The profit taking's over. You buy this one on positive trading. And Bidu, all you can do with this one is stay long as it stays above the T line. ICPT, stay long again. There's that big gap up, pull back, 45 degree. Big move. You're in a steady uptrend on this one. FTEK. This one you can still be buying if it opens positive tomorrow, staying above the 50. DHRM got soggy. Oh, pshaw. Okay, giving it a minute to think. Well, let's see if anything else comes up. DDD did hit the target we suspected ever since it failed to the 50. It was going to the 200. You're in the oversold area, so you start watching for buy signals down here. SWIR, this one you can stay long as it stays above the T line. That's a good looking chart. And try it once more. DHRM. This one closing below the T line, but doing a hammer type signal only has one alternative tomorrow. It has to open positive to stay in it. If it opens lower, close out the position. WDay. This one, all you can do is stay short until you see a buy signal. Goldman, stay long. Again, this is one that I wouldn't trade, but at least it gives you an indication of what the market's doing. As long as the big brokerage stock stays strong, that means the market's going to stay strong. Costco, another one I wouldn't be buying or selling only because of the lack of direction and the lack of magnitude of move. Netflix, you get ready to go short on weakness tomorrow. Let's see, Starbucks. At this point, I wouldn't be buying it. If you own it, you hold it, but it needs to get through the 200 and the 50. I would rather pay for it at 75 bucks knowing that it got through those levels. CLF. This one, if you're short, this was your message. A gap down in the oversold area doing a doji. Where do most people sell? They panic sell at the bottom. But this is a perfect chart showing you a left-right combo right here at the downtrending 50. Stay short until you're in the oversold area and see a gap down doji. If this opens positive tomorrow, close out your short position. I wouldn't necessarily go long until I see it come up through the T line. U.S. Steel. I wouldn't be a buyer right now. More than likely, I'd be going short. No, I wouldn't. This one's too sideways and not in any hurry to get anywhere. I'd be trading something else. SSRI has been staying above the T line. It needs to open positive tomorrow to stay in it. Okay. ENZN. That's got a good looking chart, provided the volume is good. There's your left-right combo. There's your breakout through the 50. You can be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. STSI. J-hook pattern supporting here at the 50, which means the 200 becomes your next target. We did Eagle AMAT. AMAT, you stay long, but it has to open positive tomorrow or flat and trade positive to stay in it. Let's see, we did Tesla. We didn't do Boeing. Boeing, get ready to go short on a weaker open tomorrow. And GILD. This one, another one, I wouldn't be long or short because the magnitude of the move is just so minuscule that there's nothing here, and your trend is just kind of sideways. Scotty keeps pulling back. More than likely, it's coming back to the 50. Then watch to see if it does a buy signal at that level. EMR, another one. I wouldn't be long or short, two sideways. TSO needs to stay above the 50, so kind of right on the 50 to keep the uptrend in progress. Okay, few more. VMEM. This one you can buy. Use the T line as your stop. Not a great chart, but it's all right. Let's see. The ES is the E-minis. Yeah, I don't know what the symbol is for them here. And CL is crude oil, which is on its way down, unless you were looking for Colgate. Colgate's also got kind of this T-line crunch. Another one that if you're buying, you just have to be aware of the lack of magnitude of move on this one. Those all look like commodity quotes. All right, crude oil, gold. Gold is relatively flat. Wouldn't be long or short. I mean, as long as it stays above the T line, you can stay long, but I wouldn't be going after it at these levels. And NQ stayed up above the T line. S.NQ. NQ Mobile. This one you can now go short if it opens weaker now tomorrow. You've had the big bearish engulfing signal. Decided to bring it up again. Then you have a left-right combo and a close below the T line. That tells you the bears are winning. Garmin. Yes. Wouldn't be a big percentage move. Yes, I'd be going short though. Lulu stays short ever since the kicker signal off the 50, and observe the obvious. The obvious is you're in a downtrend. Now the obvious is they could come back to the bottom of this trend channel, which would take you down below 40. You've been in this room for a week now and haven't seen anything resembling a winner. Ah, then you must not have gotten into plug. You must not have gotten into TM or TKMER or MAC. HK can't help you out there. Guess it's the old horse and water syndrome. ICEL, another one that wouldn't be real active. I'd be trading something else. You're probably in an uptrend, but I'd rather pay $17.20 for it, knowing that it broke out. Yeah, we recommended RGSE. We're happy with that one. So, and you sold it for a 408% profit. All right. Okay. Okay. If FEYE opens lower, would you close out the 85.90 spread? If you had some, yes. Whoops. I'd say yes. But it'd have to be a decisive selling because notice where you are right now. You're still in this trend channel. And GPRE. This one you get ready to go short if it opens weaker. You've got a left-right combo. Where does the selling start? When they gapped it up in an overbought condition. That's usually tells you saw the last gas buying up there. Oh, Plug was one of the ones that showed up in the. It was showing up in the room. I don't know whether. Going back to see whether we actually recommended it or we just said we'd be a buyer of it in the chat room. I don't see it. Oh, no, we had Kendai. Kendai was working out very well and still working. Let's see, PEIX. That was within the last couple of weeks. HK, can't help you out. There's I get a lot of good picks coming out of every day. As a matter of fact, about half the picks we recommend are based on ones that were found in the chat room. So, okay, let's call it a night, and we'll see everybody in the chat rooms. Have a good evening.